spinning. Okay. Regina, great to see you today.
So good to be seen. How are you?
It's, you know what, it's Super Bowl week, so it's always exciting. I know you see a lot of football in your neighborhood certain times of the year, but let me just start off with a proper introduction. Tell us who you are and where you work, and we'll start with that.
Sure. I'm Regina Jones. I am a broker with Carpenter Realtors here in central Indiana in the Indianapolis market.
Great. Awesome. And we talk a little bit about housing because of all these moves that athletes have to make across the country. And I know there's really great benefits of moving to certain communities. There's excitement around it for getting to a new team or maybe even getting to the team for the first time. But if we're going to speak with the positives of your marketplace, what's great about moving to your town? Why would someone be like, maybe they're not excited about their new team, but why would they be excited about living there?
Well, I think the things that make Indianapolis excited is our location. I mean, we are literally just down I-65 from Chicago. So we've got a great location close to Chicago, close to Louisville, not far from Nashville, right? Cincinnati's not too far away. St. Louis, not too far away. So I really think our location is key here in the Midwest. And of course, the things that we have going on here in central Indiana, not just our sports teams. And obviously, if you're an athlete, right, you're going to be coming to Indy, but we've got the 500 and we just have a lot of great things. It's a great place to raise a family and a great place just to live. I grew up here in Indianapolis, so I'm a Hoosier. But I did head out to the East Coast as soon as I graduated from high school, and I went to Rutgers University out in New Jersey, the Scarlet Knights. But it brought me home. Indiana brought me home because it's just a great place, and the housing market is affordable. So always has been.
Let's talk about affordability. We know the median price in America is under, I don't know, 500,000 across the U.S. But when you live in markets like Los Angeles or New York City or Miami, I mean, prices can be through the roof. So let's say you're coming to town, and let's say you're a decently paid athlete, not the quarterback or the head coach, but let's just say you're decently paid. What can you expect, and for about how much?
Well, it depends on if you're a family or if you're a single athlete. I think with a single athlete, it's still a great time to purchase, or maybe an athlete without children, that you don't need a huge property, but it's still a great time over renting. I do have some athletes right now who are renting, and the rent prices are kind of going through the roof. Median price for central Indiana or the Indianapolis market, which is all of north and south, all the counties around Indianapolis, right now is $285. Wow. So that's a great median price. Now, when I'm looking,
a car, right?
Yeah, exactly. But you can get such a great house here, and that's what I mean. It's that affordability. Now, really, when you think about somebody, even a modest athlete, professional athlete, I think they're going to be spending probably, if they're just wanting like a 3-bedroom, probably around 400. Right? 400, 375, 400.
How about a really cool house? Okay. I want 5 bedrooms. I want a big pool. I want a big outdoor kitchen and maybe a nice gym. And I want 5, 6, 7,000 square feet. Is there a luxury marketplace in Indianapolis that people tend to go to?
Sure, there is. I would say Hamilton County and Boone County, which are north of Indianapolis, Carmel. Anytime I have athletes come from the West Coast, they always say Carmel. But here in Indiana, it's Carmel. We call it Carmel by the corn. But we have Carmel, we have Fishers, Zionsville. Median price in Zionsville right now is about $675. Median price over in Carmel is probably about $525 right now. But yeah, for what you're describing, you're in the millions, okay. 1.2, 2 million, that kind of thing. And we do have those. We have a great community called Bridalborn. Back in the day, that was Jermaine O'Neal's neighborhood. It is a gated community, beautiful. Yeah, so there is that. That is here. We do have that. We have a lot of great communities. So.
Now, I know we caution a lot of players when they come into town, if they're on a shorter contract or they're just not sure they're going to be there a long time, to not get tied in and maybe get a rental, or if they are going to buy, have the option to be sure they can get out of it. How has your market,
Sure.
how has your market survived over the last 10, 20 years? How long have you been doing this, Regina?
This is my 23rd year in
20
real estate.
years. So
23rd.
if someone's on a year or two contract, is it safe to still buy and to be able to get out of it, financially safely?
Right now it is. Right now, I would say in 2008, 2009, that was kind of hard. People were sitting on properties for a minute. It definitely was not a seller's market. Right now, yes, properties are still going. And so, yeah, so if somebody were to come in, I have a couple of athletes right now that I'm working with, and some are in their third season, but they're really still wanting to rent. And I do, when I look at those rent prices, I'm like, for what you're paying in rent, it's still a good time to buy. Even if it's a modest, say a $300,000 condo, you're probably going to be able, if you're not wanting yard work and all of that, or deal with yard work or hiring the people to do it, you're still going to be able to get that property sold. So
can you share any stories, or are you familiar with anybody coming in as a player, whatever team they play for, having to leave and then another player taking over the place because they've rented it out and kind of save the day, or anything like that happen very much out there?
I do know that in the past, I've had athletes that I've worked with who have taken on leases for other ones. So when somebody has left and somebody's come in, they've really just taken over that lease.
Yeah.
As far as purchasing, no, I don't have that. But I will say one of the first professional athletes that I worked with was Reggie Miller. And it was my first year out into the business. And now his house is occupied, the house that I had sold, by Austin Crozier. So I don't know if you remember those names.
Yeah, for sure.
But Austin lives there now. So
yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And so when players are coming in and you're helping them, obviously they need housing taken care of, but what are some of the concierge level of services that you're providing them that have proven to be very helpful for them?
A lot of the services that I provide, especially when it comes to moving either in my market or out of my market, I work closely with a company out of Pennsylvania called Your Task, Our Time, and they help with moving. So they can go anywhere in the United States. I don't know if they've ever went abroad. I don't believe so, but anywhere in the United States, and they can pack a person up and go to the new spot and unpack them. And really even put everything away.
I'm writing this one down because that sounds great. Your Task,
Our Time. Your Task, Our Time. Yeah, they're out of Pennsylvania, but they've done high profile clients. Some are even a non-disclosure, so can't even disclose who they are. People in the entertainment industry, not just athletes. And so they will literally go to your house and box you up and go to your new property and put your dishes away and put the linens away and whatever you need. You know what I mean? It just depends on what you are needing. So I do have that connection, and that's a really great company. So they've been great to work with. And then locally, just really helping them get accustomed to what they're looking for, what their needs are. If their wife is looking for a great place for hair, or, just all that kind of stuff, just personal things, a personal connection, and helping them just get acclimated to the Indianapolis market and to the area of which they're moving. So
you mentioned a lot of really cool, big cities that are close by to me, that's the speaking entertainment. Oh my God, let's go to Chicago. Let's go to Nashville. But
yes,
someone's coming in to live there, or heck, they're just coming in to watch the combine, right? Mm-hmm. What are some things that are really popular in Indianapolis as far as activities go, outside of, let's say, watching a sporting event?
A sporting event. I think some of the things that are really great around here are our parks, like the outdoor. We have Geist Reservoir, we have Eagle Creek Park. So if you're an outdoors person, we have a lot of that around the city that you can enjoy and go do. And then downtown Indianapolis, I had some friends come to Indy from New York. And they had never been to Indiana before we came to New York. And it was just that time of year where Colts were getting started in preseason. And it's, once the Pacers or the NBA goes into the finals, if you can get all the way in, you kind of have a long season. But anyway, so they were able to go to a Colts game. They were able to go to an Indians game, and all of that is downtown. And I know you said not sports events. Sorry.
That's okay.
I went back to sports. But they were like, when you were in downtown Indianapolis, it is so walkable. So, and I think that that's what people really love, because there's the history of downtown Indy, the museums. We have the Idle Jorg, we have the Indiana State Museum, we have arts here. The Indianapolis Ballet Company is here. So there's just a lot of great things, and a lot of it is really contained in the downtown area. Now, north of downtown, you have Carmel. Carmel has an awesome downtown. The Palladium is up in Carmel, where people come and play, and you have concerts and things like that. Deer Creek, for all those people out there that like to go to outdoor concerts, Deer Creek is known throughout the country. Beautiful outdoor venue. Grateful Dead's played there, and all that. So, so there's tons to do in Central Indiana. And again, for somebody like me who left Indiana to be near New York, and because I love New York, to be out in New York and New Jersey and all of that, I came back because it's just great. And I can go visit other places, but Indiana is always home for sure.
That's nice. That's great. And Hoosier basketball, right?
Hoosier basketball. Yeah. Hoosier hospitality.
Yeah. Awesome. When it comes to SportStar Relocation and being a national company, how has that helped you with you and your business or your clients?
Well, I think the way that SportStar Relocation helps, especially when you're a real estate professional and you have clients, especially athletes or even business professionals who tend to move or relocate, to have somebody in another major city that you can rely on by picking up the phone saying, I have this person, they're coming to your city, they're relocating, is huge. To have somebody that you can trust to give your client the kind of service that I give. So for me to be able to give my client to a SportStar Relocation realtor in Seattle or California or wherever, and to know that they're going to get the kind of service that I give, gives a little bit of peace of mind, because I want my clients to be taken care of. I years ago, I had an athlete, and he was considering a Pacer player. He was considering New York, and this was pre-SportStar Relocation. And I literally flew out there to make sure that he was going to be well taken care of. Right. Yeah. And so now I don't have to do that now. I can trust.
That's impressive. And I know Ted in our Arizona part of our network had flown out to New York City just to help one of the Yankees players who was around with a new baby and a wife, and they wanted to get property, and so he was just there to make sure everything went smoothly. So it's amazing how people will step up. And I'll share another, just an analogy I've used about what you're talking about is a lot of times the world thinks us realtors, right, are all the same. But I would compare it to someone having a driver's license, right? Just because you have a real estate license doesn't make you great. And just because you have a driver's license doesn't make you a great driver.
Absolutely. I agree.
There's a really good chance that Max Verstappen can get around a track a little bit better than a 16-year-old who just got his driver's license. So
that's right.
Or whatever they drive in the Indianapolis 500.
500. That's right.
Who's your favorite racer out there? Do you have one?
Ooh, race car drivers wise, and I would probably it's probably the old ones because I am old. I mean, when you talk about NASCAR, I like Tony Stewart. It's kind of interesting if you're down in Nashville, Indiana, not Nashville, Tennessee, but every once in a while you'll see Tony Stewart walking around, which is very cool. Of course, Dale Earnhardt Sr., May you rest in peace. He was amazing. And his son, obviously Junior, is amazing. Yeah, there's so many, and everybody loves, and his name just jumped out of my head. Oh, what is his name? And I can see him so clearly. Always has a smile on his face. IndyCar driver. Castroneves.
Okay.
Helio Castroneves, is that right?
Yeah.
I don't want to say it wrong, but I just like his energy, and I've seen him on a few occasions outside of racing, and that energy that he has on the racing track, he has in person too. So,
All right,
yeah,
a couple
absolutely.
quick rapid fire questions. I'm
Sure.
making them up as I go. I didn't even write them down. I'm going to start with, well, first question is, do you eat cheeseburgers?
Yes, with no bun.
I was just going to ask the question, what must it not have?
No bun. No bun, no onions.
Okay. And what's your favorite pizza?
Marguerite pizza.
Margarita pizza.
Yeah.
And who are you choosing in this week's Super Bowl? The Chiefs or the 49ers?
Kansas City.
Kansas City. And
Yes.
do you have a reason why?
I like Mahomes. I like the game that they played. I really was rooting for those Lions. Because I have a lot of
great underdog team to root for this year.
Yeah, and I have friends up in Detroit, so I was really rooting for the Detroit Lions. But I think the thing that's interesting for me is that sea of red. I mean, I know their reds are different reds, but it's just going to be a sea of
you're
red.
Wearing red today.
Yeah, exactly. My company colors, got to represent. So
I'm waiting for a little orange back here to just satisfy my craving I've had for 61 years waiting for this. Might be a few more. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Regina, thank you so much for jumping on today. You're amazing. It's always nice to have someone great to turn to in a great city like Indianapolis. If someone wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to do that?
Best way to do that, my website is reginaismyrealtor.com. They can always text me at 317-946-2757 or call the old-fashioned way, pick up the phone and call. So any of those areas, I'm always here. When it comes to my location of my office, I'm centrally located. I'm right down the street from the Colts complex, and I'm just about 15 minutes from the Pacers office. So I'm in a good location to get anywhere around Indianapolis. So always here to help.
You're amazing. Thank you, Regina. You have an amazing day.
Thanks, Ed. Appreciate it. Have a great one.
Take care.
Bye.